Back for more, are ya? I've already made a video on this character, but it has been over 2 years now, and I feel justified in saying that after 5 more big videos on the game and countless more hours, I can come back and give a better opinion on her. And I mean, Huntress deserves it. We're talking about the best and most reliable character in Risk of Rain 2. And I can also give somewhat of a, what people may call expert opinion, because I've beaten Eclipse 8 with her. So, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the Huntress Spotlight. Welcome to Huntress. She is the character that never stops moving, and if she does, she dies. It's as simple as that. Of course, my videos change names from guides to spotlights, but the idea stays the same. A spotlight is putting an emphasis on something, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do here. And the emphasis will be put on the good stuff more than the bad here, because honestly, the only thing bad about Huntress is her health. The lowest in the game. And then you think about everything else, and from me to you, I don't see another weakness in her kit. 60% of all my games have been played on her, and nowadays, I've played every single character multiple times. I've even discovered new things I like, Commando, Artificer, or Loader, to name but a few of them. But still, I only really find success on a single character, and that character is Huntress, and the reason is quite simple. She's the only one that can easily succeed with the Artifact of Glass. But moreover than that, she's extremely reliable on the base game too. I don't think on base game she's actually the best though. I know, but it's just that Loader and Artificer exist now for me, and they're just too good. The main thing about normal game Huntress, her damage isn't substantial enough to deal with large clusters of enemies without having some way of clear items like Gasoline or Will-O-the-Wisp. With that said, I've also tested every ability this time, so be thankful because I spent ages trying to make the 3 attack arrows work, and that shit just doesn't add up for me. Look, last time I completely skipped it, but this time I wanted to briefly talk about it. It makes no goddamn sense, okay? It is as simple as that. Having 3 attacks that deal basically the same amount as 3 normal attacks, but in a volley, and at about a slightly faster attack speed, yeah, that would be better. But I just really find it unresponsive. Of course though, a lot of players use it because of the power of the full crit build, but that shit just doesn't add up. Sure, 4 times power basically because you double damage and the amount of arrows. But at that point in the game, you're already strong enough with a normal auto to kill anything, so why bother? It's just this simple. If you use your auto attack for the late game power that potentially has, all auto attacks are powerful late game no matter what. So that's why I stick with the single arrow. Same power, but much faster in responsiveness early. You've only got a single secondary, and that's a good thing, because it is an essential in your kit for sure. You need this for the amount of wave clear it can give. Now, you will remember I said that she doesn't have enough. Well, yeah, she doesn't, it's true. But this still helps quite a bit, because the fact that it bounces 7 times is quite nice. Of course, in Glass, this is basically 7 one-shots, that's what that means, but for normal, it's just some nice chip damage, and in the late game, it's still quite deadly, especially with crits and other AoE items. Okay, I got through all of this without making a joke. What the fuck are we here, NASA? Okay, well, if you want a joke, let's stick to the classics. What did Loader say about A-Crit? Nothing, because A-Crit sucks and no one's talking about it. Alright, now that's done, let's get to the dash. Well, I say dash, but you can also say the dash is. But I won't. The fact that you cannot choose the vertical direction of the 3 dashes leaves me never picking those. And again, unpopular opinion, I know, but that's how it is. I just don't feel like doing it any other way, because if I did, I'd run the risk of liking change, and come on, we cannot have that. Says the guy that does not really know what to do with his YouTube channel. I'm working on it. But honestly, I just picked the normal dash for 3 things. 1, it's a good way to dodge wisps early on in Glass, which is where most of your death will come from at the beginning of the game, while playing Glass, you know. 2, I can reach Mithrix with only 3 jumps and the dash as long as I have a couple wax quails to proxy up the structure. And 3, it fucking looks baller, and that's a real reason. I know people prefer the triple dash, okay, but if everyone had the same opinion all the time, the world would get pretty boring pretty quick, wouldn't it? You know, except when it comes to respecting what Simon says. And yes, the triple dash does let you do the first thing quite effectively too, you know. Dashing away from wisps is actually maybe a little bit more reliable on the triple dash, but I mean, I spent probably 900 of my 1,200 hours playing Huntress. Dodging wisps has become second nature, and it's actually based on something important in video games that some people may disregard. Sound design. The charge sound for a wisp is the most important thing. You may hear this sound, and then you know that you kinda fucked up if you're on glass. But then you just dash, and voila, you don't need to care about the attack anymore. Which is why the final skill is also quite important for you. You may use the Rain of Arrows or the Ballista, Ballista being a good choice, but either way you will have a secondary dash. Sure, Ballista is shorter, but that's fine, it is enough to get away from most things anyway if you time it correctly. Rain of Arrows puts you way higher in the air. Again, for the Ballista, give it a try. It may take a couple 100 tries, but trust me, it will be worth it for the amount of damage this can deal. Couple that dash with the fact that each Ballista hit is 900%, and couple that damage with an ATG or a Runald, and you basically kill anything with just 1 Ballista and a single proc of items. And that is just not only in glass. Seriously, 900 times 3 for a rocket. That is already 2700% for a single ability. Find anything that deals more than that isn't a use item. Or Railgunner's Ultimate, but still. Rain of Arrows is more for wave clear. With this, yes, you'd have enough wave clear in your kit, but then you're missing, absolutely you're missing the burst. And that's the thing here. Huntress is so good because she's extremely versatile. Her passive makes her extremely nimble. You have some good damage on your auto attack, and then you have some wave clear on your secondary. More movement with the single greatest dash in the game, and I don't kid. And then the Ballista for incredible single, or triple as the case may be, target damage. If you take out one of these, except the dash, you lose what makes Huntress so strong in my opinion. And then, you have the item synergies. I don't think anyone can be stronger than Huntress with certain items. We already talked about a few, ATG, Missile, MK1, and Runald's Band. But of course, this is far from being the only ones. Huntress is one of the most crit and attack speed reliant characters in the game, but this is a good thing. The main thing I will say for that is also that Huntress is focused. When you play this character, you know what you want, and you know what you will avoid. Anything that goes against your range play, just avoid it, and you know, try and get a recycler maybe, and change that item into something even worse. Oh, dang it! If you want to counteract the only bad thing about Huntress being her survivability, you will need to find some infusions, oddly shaped opals, or tougher times to try and survive longer. And now for the top tip from me, Red Rock. If you're playing glass, one item is inescapable, and that is the Topaz Brooch. You're doubling your HP pool at all times. So trust me, when you're playing not to get one shot, this item absolutely covers all your bases for not getting one shot. At the beginning at least. And lastly for items, and for this video, I cannot end this video without talking about the Shroom. I know it's a fucking spleen, but go and tell me that it doesn't look like a red mushroom. But seriously, the fact that you are a character looking for full crits with something like Shatter Spleen, there is absolutely no way to not win a game. The damage is just too intense, and the fact that this is the only item in the game with percentage HP damage, there is literally nothing this item can't do. He can do the laundry, he can make a good meal for a family, or even drive your kids to school, and always with a spleen. A smile, I mean. Thanks for watching. We're fucking back, baby.